incredible space which suits a Western sensibility. And it had the axials, which are a little bit like roadways, but they're natural. And this was water, which the children would play with. There. That's what that was.
So it was a concrete basin with a spray in the middle. So it could
And with a
just,
hedge around it instead of
with
brick
just a little
walls.
bit of water, the kids could splash, or they could fill it up and make it a reflecting pool.
And so that would, we not only had the sky there, just naked sky, we had it reflected, the real sky reflected in natural water, but it was a reflection. So it's this beautiful, subtle thing, which of course, cools the clubhouse patio where they're playing games as well.
And it was all open, none of the brick walls, but there were badminton tables
Ping pong.
or ping pong,
Yeah.
right? But then the walls just slid open, sliding glass
Yeah.
walls after
It
that.
was just beautiful.
So you came
And
through
very,
that
for that era to have that
ripped
kind of
glass,
glass.
and then you got this glimpse, and it sort of drew you out to really see this.
But you sort of gradually step out, and have a big neighbor experience first. You go into the big neighbor.
What kind of a tree is that?
Coral.
Coral. And
That was only planted after the flood, so it's about 1966, but they grow pretty fast.
she's Jack and the Beanstalk tree.
The water feature only lasted about 2 years, and then they realized it was a safety hazard. So
Since you're actually here at Village Green, one of the really interesting things is what Stephen was talking about. Stein was the founding and one of the few early the small group of Regional Planning Association of America group, which I always thought, my God, how dull can this be? Then, of course, I started researching it. It was incredibly exciting, especially in terms of the green movement, where this is a California, regionally, they would have pods, like he was saying, of this kind of community that were very manageable for people to relate to, regionally adapted. So this is a very California one. It would just be connected by freeways and public transportation. You wouldn't really, you were eventually supposed to have a store and school and everything here. You wouldn't use nearly the amount of petrochemicals, and you'd be having fun with your neighbors instead of, going shopping on vacation, desperately trying to relax. You'd have it like you'd be at work, at school, but you'd come back here in the residential. Your life as a resident had all these potentials that Stein actually had revelations about when he studied in Paris. He couldn't believe the way the middle class was living there compared to, say, Americans. And that was an interesting motivator. What could bring real, joy to joie de vivre, savoir vivre, all that stuff to America. And that's part of what he was doing, because he lived it for 6 years in his 20s. So here we are. We see kind of what they would have been like.
was there a streetcar line near here then?
No, there were red cars. There now we have metro.
Right.
It's amazing, and that was always a and they usually build large cities.
Across the street from the fort. So you live on Waterbury Way, and you was
At that point, that's what being built. So that was a big.